Montevideo is modern. It is 100 years younger than New York or Boston. There are few reminders of colonial days in Montevideo, but plenty of evidence that this is the chief city of a dynamic and progressive country. Of Uruguay's 2 million people, about 1/3 live here in the capital. The state-controlled school system reaches every child, even those in the rural areas. Education is free, and it is also compulsory. The government furnishes free textbooks. Later on, these youngsters can go on to secondary school, college, and university, all free, for Uruguay pays the cost of training its lawyers and doctors, its engineers and architects. So here in full swing is Uruguay's other major industry. All of this beef is for export. The best customers are the British. Today, much of the beef before foreign markets for its meat products and its wool, good harbors and easy access to the world sea lanes, these have meant economic progress and security for Uruguay. Uruguay's beaches are among the finest in South America. By national law, every Uruguayan is entitled to 2 weeks vacation each year with pay. And a lot of these vacations are spent on the shore. Besides, thousands come here every summer from Argentina. A fine one built with public funds. Casinos and the lotteries helped in raising those funds. Here the poor receive free medical care, including the services of doctors and dentists. Other patients are here because the government's health insurance plan entitles them to hospitalization. It doesn't cost much to be sick in Uruguay. State-owned banks control all banking throughout the country. Government banks handle nationwide business in insurance, which is a government monopoly, in mortgages, housing, social security, pensions, and other forms of financing public welfare, as well as in straight banking. The whole system, utopian though it is taken for granted by the Uruguayans. Very few people are rich, very few are poor. There is little unemployment, and anybody can retire at 60 with a pension. A state-owned theater, a state-owned hotel, the headquarters of the government's unemployment insurance and pension administration. The government owns grain elevators, just as it owns factories for processing cement, alcohol, and petroleum. A citizen is free to go into business. The government will help him. And in many cases, the government will compete with him, too. Uruguay is well supplied with railroads. Some of the roads are British-owned, and some are owned and operated by the state, which has provided its lines with streamlined diesel trains. When more motive power is available. To that problem, the new hydroelectric dam on the Rio Negro is a large part of the answer. The new dam, financed by the government, was started by German engineers using German equipment. But specialists from the United States are helping Uruguayans finish the job. Even with increased electrical power, Uruguay is not likely to become a manufacturing country on a large scale. It lacks raw materials, especially minerals. Stadium in Montevideo is a particularly good one. The brand of soccer played in the stadium is particularly good too. The Uruguayans just naturally take to this game. In 1924 at Paris, and again in 1928 at Amsterdam, they won the Olympic soccer championship. The stadium seats 80,000. That leaves only about 2 million Uruguayans outside, doing something else. The fundamental and important reason for that feeling is that Uruguay has a large middle class. The Senate building, where there has been plenty of proof that Uruguay is a real democracy. Representatives of the people meeting in this chamber have given the country its amazing structure of laws dealing with labor, education, suffrage, public works, and public health. Note that some of the senators are women. Uruguay has no censorship of news or opinion. It is an outstandingly progressive and democratic land, and Montevideo is indeed a handsome capital. But in spite of modern skyscrapers and magnificent boulevards, Uruguayans know that the strength of their country has its roots in the soil and pastures of the interior. La República Oriental del Uruguay, to give it the full and official name, is wide, sunlit, and productive. The gauchos and sheep herders are important citizens of one of the most likable of all countries.